Okay, the last piece of the marketing plan is establishing metrics to measure the success of the library's marketing efforts. In order to do so, it is important to consider what it is you're really measuring and how you will use your data. So let's take social media marketing, for example. Perhaps one of your objectives is to increase your social media presence by creating a Facebook profile. Well, how will you know if you successfully met your objective? First, you need to set some criteria around this objective. The success of this particular objective is easy to measure. Either you create the page within your stated time frame or you do not. However, some objectives necessitate more precise criteria. So, using that Facebook example again, what if the library already has a Facebook profile and you want to increase traffic on the page? How do you measure the success of that objective? By the number of people who like your page? By the number of comments you receive? What target figure will you use regarding increased user participation on your page? Do you want to reach 50 new followers? Do you want a 10% increase in comments from your followers? So these are all things that you need to think about. Most social media sites, including things like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, they provide site visit or interaction metrics, along with detailed demographic information about the people visiting an organization's or business firm's individual page. And this can, of course, be extremely useful for discovering who the library's social media campaign is currently reaching. And I'm going to add links to these social media analytics in your supplemental reading list for this week. The measurement of success, however, should not be limited to simply meeting your goal, such as getting 50 new followers. As you create this objective and quantitative target associated with it, you need to ask yourself why you want to increase your social media presence, right? So what outcome do you want to achieve as a result of gaining 50 new followers on Facebook? If you announce an upcoming program or instruction session on Facebook, how will you know if people attend as a result of seeing the Facebook posting? This is where more user feedback is needed. So if you routinely survey users after an instruction session or a library program, add a question regarding how users found out about the library program. This is a very good strategy to determine how effective your marketing outreach has been. Now that we've covered the main components of the marketing plan, let's return to a revised version of that table we looked at in week 1. So this table focuses on the implementation of your plan. And you can see that we have a column for services or product you're promoting, the message or messages that you will create around the product, the vehicle or vehicles you will use to deliver your message, the frequency strategy, so continuity, flighting, concentrated, pulsing, that kind of thing, regarding those messages that you're sending out, when and how the messages will go out, any resources, human, material, and financial, that you're going to need, who's going to lead the process, and how will you measure its success. Now, one thing that I did not address in this course is the formal written marketing plan. This is very similar to a written strategic plan, and I'm including links to a couple of formal written marketing plans in your supplemental reading list this week, just to give you an idea of how these plans are crafted. All right, so we're in the home stretch here. So we know that marketing is a crucial activity in our efforts to provide the best possible service to our users. And we also know that marketing is a vital component in library advocacy and in demonstrating the library's worth to its community. Over the last 4 weeks, we've also discussed and read about many different marketing strategies and campaigns, some of which are quite innovative. Throughout this course, I have heard many of you say that you don't have adequate resources to do all the marketing that you would like to do. Many libraries have a similar problem. There are few libraries that are fortunate enough to have a librarian who is tasked solely with outreach and marketing efforts. Marketing usually becomes an add-on activity to the already long list of professional assignments that we're given as librarians. And additionally, very few, if any of us, have training in marketing strategies. So therefore, when you approach marketing for your library, keep the following in mind. Focus on your most important needs. And this comes back to asking yourself, what are you marketing and why? With limited time and resources, you need to prioritize what you're doing, and you have to determine which marketing efforts will yield the highest returns for your library. Don't try to do it all. This is somewhat related to the first bullet point, and it's particularly true regarding social media marketing. The social media landscape is changing rapidly, and every 5 minutes there seems to be a new and enticing platform on the market. Remember to focus on a few core platforms and excel at using those. You don't need to be everywhere. Be creative. We discussed a lot of ideas in this course, and some of those require considerable resources that may not be available to you. However, don't let this hamper your brainstorming of marketing ideas. When we otherwise constrain ourselves in this way, we often miss out on great ideas that we may actually be able to implement with a little bit of ingenuity. Be creative in your approach to funding your plan. Seek out grant funding, discounts, and donations. Remember that marketing is ubiquitous. Now, we discussed this earlier in the course. Whether we realize it or not, the library is constantly marketing itself by its daily existence. The library website is a marketing tool. The physical layout and ambiance of the library is a marketing tool. Library staff, volunteers, and even users are marketing tools. While word of mouth may not be the only marketing you want to pursue, it can still be extremely important. Image and reputation are built on the day-to-day experiences we provide to our users. If your library embodies its mission, vision, and values, if it makes its spaces welcoming and innovative and engaging, and if its staff provide consistently excellent service, these steps alone will create some of the most effective and least expensive marketing out there. Marketing is about relationships. One extremely important thing that I hope you take away from this course is that marketing is about building and sustaining relationships. It's about fostering a sense of community amongst your users. Just as library staff are essential in carrying out your mission and vision, building meaningful relationships with your library stakeholders is key to your library's success. And finally, and related to that last bullet, never stop telling your story. Until recently, librarians bristled at the term marketing. Many felt that it was cold, calculated, and too related to big business stratagems. And I understand this ambivalence, I do. Most of us get into this profession not for the money, but instead because we love what we do and we have a genuine belief in helping others. So never forget that, formal marketing aside, we should always let those beliefs and values shine through in our daily work, because that is the essence of what it means to tell our story. All right, this week's reading assignment differs depending on whether you work in a public or an academic library. Those of you who work in neither are welcome to pick whichever article you choose. Of course, all of you can read both if you prefer. Both articles focus on library partnerships and both include very valuable information. For your written assignment this week, I would like you to complete the marketing implementation chart that we looked at earlier in this lecture. So if you're marketing the library overall, think of 2 or 3 products or services in particular that you would like to market. If you're marketing a specific product or service, share 2 or 3 vehicles or messages that you would use to promote your product or service. Under the category frequency, refer to the frequency strategy, so continuity, flighting, concentrated, or masked pulsing, or other strategies that you will employ. Now, I realize that some of these categories on the chart, such as resources and leads, they might be theoretical right now, but discuss how you will consider those factors when preparing to implement your plan. So use that chart that we just talked about a few minutes ago. For your discussion forum assignment, this week we discussed the marketing of staff as a way of highlighting one of our most valuable assets. And I'd like to hear if your library engages in marketing of staff, either internally and/or externally. And if so, how is this achieved? And if not, how would you approach doing so? All right, so please take a few minutes to complete the Moodle survey that is available in this week's course module. Your feedback is very important to me. It's very valuable for me and for Library Juice Academy. And for those of you who are taking the course for the first time, I would greatly appreciate it if you would also answer the following 3 questions related to the course. So, did you watch the recorded YouTube PowerPoint presentation? And if so, did you find them useful? Did you watch those presentations? Did you refer to the written transcripts during this course? And if so, did you find them useful? And then, given the choice, would you prefer written lectures, recorded lectures, or both? And you can respond, you can send those directly to me. You can email those. You don't have to put those in the regular LJA survey. And for those of you who are in the certificate program, I would also love to hear from you on 2 items. So, what was the most valuable part of this series as a whole? And what could I do to make this experience better for future certificate attendees? I'd really appreciate hearing that. And again, you can email those responses directly to me. You don't have to include them in the Library Juice Academy survey. I want to thank all of you for participating in this course. It was nice to see so many familiar faces and meet new ones. For those of you who have been with me from the start, I know I sound like a broken record, but I never fail to be amazed by how much I learn from each and every one of your stories, experiences, and perspectives. And for that, I am truly grateful. And finally, speaking of those who have been with me from the start, this is not only the final week of our course, this is the end of a 6-month process that has seen you all working diligently on the Library Management and Leadership Certificate program. So, congratulations to all of you who have completed the certificate program with this course. I sincerely hope that you found the series as rewarding as I did, and I truly welcome any feedback that you would like to share with me now, now that you've been through the entire program. So any feedback would be more than welcome. After 6 months, I feel like I know all of you rather well, and I hope you will stay in touch and let me know how things are going. And if you ever have any questions or you need any management tips or advice for free, don't hesitate to call me. I'm always contact me. I'm always happy to try to help out. So thank you very much, and congratulations on finishing this series.